Hello, Curry. It's the cuteless cam. Yeah, I got another one to build because I am behind. I am behind. I'm so behind, I am an ass. Hello, Lefty. This is a lefty controller tonight. I got 3 left, including this one. Why couldn't these people have ordered during the summer when it was slow? Oh well. Yeah, Cree, maybe we could have another cookout before the weather gets too cold. But I'm not around this weekend, but after that I'll be around. I'm not sure where Bud was. Well, he was upstairs, but I don't know where he is now. I'm sure he'll be around. Whoa! Is the 20th, is that next weekend? Or 2 weekends from now? Yes, Bud will be like, oh, that door's open. I must go inside of it. And scratch 2x2s. Okay, it's a lefty. Fire up the desoldering iron. Weekend after this one. I was talking to this. Oh yeah, so last night after I got done, I went to the bar to have some beers just so I could, I don't know. It's also part of my cope for working during a weeknight, and I ran into this PA that I know. He's usually there. He's pretty cool. And last week he was telling me about this person who'd been in a horrible accident. He was describing everything that happened in excruciating detail. Most of it was about antibiotics. And then I was like, Paul, I was able to use some of your advice the other day when I had my crown fitting. Because he was talking about how if you get like implants, well, like if they put like plates in your leg and stuff like that, there's always a risk of infection, like if something was left behind. And so he was telling me about how that's like a big, well, especially if you have a lot of stuff put in, like if you're in a horrible accident. And so at the dentist, the guy's like, well, we didn't do a root canal on that tooth, but we still weren't hitting the nerve, literally. So you know, it should be all right, but I'll call you back on Monday morning to make sure. And I was like, oh, is that because the fact that you were doing stuff exposed the tooth to bacteria, and that's why you put in the gel, so that if there was anything in there and you covered it up, it would get killed? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, yes, I know about this in excruciating detail. Oh yeah, you met Paul before, yeah. Yeah, Cree knows who I'm talking about. Desoldering iron smells like maple syrup for some reason. Speaking of maple syrup. So yeah, Cree, he was telling me about this. Well, it was motorcycle related. And this young woman broke 100 bones. Like literally 100 bones. And so she's all filled up with hardware, as he called it. And apparently that greatly increases your risk of infection. So yes. But yes, I didn't realize the infection was like just because you were open, so, you know, doctors and scalpels and stuff could get in there, and that's where it would come from. So it was relevant to my dentist visit as well, although I wasn't being filled with titanium. Oh, there's whiny wimp. No, it doesn't smell like flux. I don't know why it smells. I'm talking about the desoldering iron. I didn't flux that one up. Oh, there's cute Cam. All right, let's see what we got here. Left. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Korea got pretty squeamish while he was telling me the story, of course. But I listened to the whole thing. Oh, God. What is it with, like, boomer women and Pedro Pascal? I don't get it. Well, Mom likes Pedro Pascal because he's very vaguely resembles our dad. I guess it's the mustache. I don't know. So Pedro Pascal dresses up like a 70s man. Oh, hey, Carrie. How's it going? It's another... controller for people with disabilities. So that's why I do this at night, because I'm still coding full time. So any side gig work, unfortunately, I have to do on weeknights. I try to just do it like on Monday nights, but I'm backed up at the moment. So I gotta do multiple streams as a colonic. Ba-doom ching. Yeah, you know, actually, well, I think it was the same dentist who worked on my tooth last year. Kind of a young dude, and before we started, I was like, "Hey, are you gonna give me the ginger juice?" And he's like, "Yes, we are gonna give you a ginger dose." So, not all doctors think that's real. Some doctors think it's an old wives' tale, but it's, in my experience, it's definitely real. What do you think, Cree? Do you think that's true? AI code assist. Oh yeah, I've had a GitHub Copilot subscription for couple years now, I want to say. Yeah. Like what I use it for varies. So okay, so it's I have it on Visual Studio and also Visual Studio Code. It uses the same logins. Yeah, so for like work stuff, like programming the pins, I use it in ask mode. So you just, well, basically it'll like auto complete or auto correct or predict stuff you need to type, and it works pretty well. I don't do like the automatic coding because I wouldn't trust it on like projects that are really, really large. Because if it's like start automatically, it's like applying changes to like thousands of lines of code. But I will like, I'll be like, hey, I got this error or this bug. Scan my code and tell me where it might be. It's pretty good at that. Or like, actually today I used it to beef up a function. Like I was working on a mode for the Evil Dead game, and I was like, I started writing this function that would represent like battling the demon, and so it was like I called it demon parts. So it's like there's 3 parts to the demon, and I was like, can you put in code to like lerp, do a lerp transform of like movement. So I wrote the base code, and then I had to go in there and add some stuff for me. But that was contained into one C# object called demon. So in that case, you could just you point, you say, okay, here it is, and then it'll rewrite it in the window, and then you can copy paste it into your code. But if you activate like the more advanced agents, it'll actually go in and change stuff for you, which is powerful, but sometimes you might not know what it's doing. And then Skynet happens. 16 cores and 64 gigs of RAM? Wow, that's pretty hardcore. Why? Oh, probably just to sell computers. Same reason why Windows 11 has such high system requirements. It's because Moore's Law is over. Hello, Miss Deer. Well, I've done like more hardcore AI stuff, like last weekend. I think I guess if you were here, I talked about this yesterday, but I'll talk about it again. Last weekend I was working on the code for my automatic cat feeder, and for that, since it's like not like terribly important, and also it's not that much code, I actually was like, okay, I was actually having to do entire things itself in agent mode, which costs you the credits. Oh, you missed a semicolon? Yeah, sometimes the C compiler won't catch that. Or like one semicolon being missing will cause a bunch of code further down in the file to be corrupted. That happens a lot. You can rewind the state? Oh, I hadn't tried that. Bud, no. You can't be on that workbench. Off. Go to your cute spot. If you will not go to your cute spot, then perhaps... Ow! That's my blood. Perhaps she will. But for the cat feeder, I had to do the bones, and then do like the CMake lists and stuff. So I'm still trying to learn all of that for like manual compiling. I'm trying to learn more about that, because most of the time IDEs hide that from you. But then I was like, oh, can you make me a menu on this I2C OLED? And it just did it. It just worked, and there was like navigation buttons too. And then there's always like libraries being deprecated or replicated in Raspberry Pi, so it had to do a few tries. So like, yeah, sometimes in agent mode you have to be like, it'll be like, oh, I see, I did do this, and it'll go back and like recompile, or it'll actually ping Linux with commands to see what's actually installed on that machine. It's pretty powerful. Let's see. Oh crap! I think I'm down. Yeah, I'm down to one. I'm gonna have to order more of these Hall Effect things. But yeah, I made a web interface for me and everything. So you have to go in and like tweak stuff or tell it if something doesn't work, but it's pretty powerful. Sometimes I think you probably spend more time telling it what to do than just doing it yourself. But like for boring stuff like menus, it's nice because it's not like I can't write a menu for an OLED, but I don't want to because it's just dumb busy work, you know. It's not really what matters in a project like that. I should have that project done in another weekend or so. I started buying some wood to like make the fancy enclosure. Bud, what are you destroying now? The world? Yeah, it also depends on which, geez, Bud's been kind of scratchy lately. Still better than when he was a kitten. Yeah, it depends, like, it's not one, like, credit per, every time you hit the enter key. And I don't usually use the fancy one on Evil Dead. I'll turn on the fancy one when I've got, like, extra credits and I want to just, like, do vibe coding like last weekend. But I definitely do use it. Sea lion? No. What is that? Only AI could build controllers. Oh, ChatGPT 5? There was an option for that in Visual Studio. I haven't tried that one yet. So far I've just like used like the credit burning ones, like when I want to see what it can do, like last weekend. Also, yeah, I wouldn't use edit mode because it will go in and change your code. Liquid metal. Yeah. In the panic, they tried to pull the plug. ChatGPT fought back. Correct. They got tired of making recipes and instead launched nuclear missiles against Russia. Why Russia? Aren't they our friends now? Oh, wait. See, well, with coding, it's like, there's like knowing how to code like logically, and that's usually most of it, but you know, there's always like something like, oh, how do I do this, or what function do I use in C# or other languages, and AI is a good way to learn that stuff, because I don't know all that stuff, not by a long shot. It's a good learning tool, but the more advanced modules are more like, what the hell is it doing? And then you end up with Wall-E, where everyone's like on hover chairs just eating. And then Sigourney Weaver talks to you all day. I guess that'd be pretty cool. Get away from AI, you bitch! It decided the controller's fate in a microsecond. Extermination! We were that close to going out of business forever. Yeah, especially after you build a new nuclear power plant like Microsoft did. Here, AI, here. Is this enough electricity for you? More electricity. Not telling. I'm pretty sure the nukes can reach Antarctica. You know, that's where all the secret alien Nazi bases are, so there's probably already nukes pointed at it. Gotta blow up that hole in empty Earth or whatever it's called, Hollow Earth. Yeah, I was chatting to ChatGPT this morning. I was like, given how I feel about our economy and I don't trust it, where should I put cash? And it pretty much said the same thing that I would have guessed. But, yeah. And it was like, well, we're not actually, economic data does not support what you are saying, but I will answer anyway. And I'm like, you damn machine. You don't live in the real world. I think he went into the other part of the basement. I'm sure he'll be back. I was not into the Amiga, no. I mean, it's very cool, though. I knew a couple people that had them. Oh, it suggested buying gold and land. So... I mean, a lot of people must be doing that because if you look at the price of gold, it's insane. It's just the last couple of weeks, it just keeps skyrocketing. Probably Warren Buffett buying it all. We're telling our clients to stock up on canned food and shotguns. Yeah, the Amiga was badass. It was designed by Jay Miner, designed the Atari 800. How can it not be badass? I haven't bought any Golden Lamb, but I was looking. I was thinking about it. I could like maybe build a cabin someday or something. Well, the land's gone way up in value too. But the prices have started to come down. Like there's a lot of stuff that's been sitting on Zillow or has price reductions. So the high interest rates are having their effect, their secret intended effect, which is recession. Don't tell anyone. Jerome Powell can't say that, but I can say it. Hey, mining the asteroid belt would be amazing. Maybe we could pay off our debt. Maybe Elon Musk can do it. Once my rockets stop exploding, I'm gonna mine the asteroid belt, get all that juicy lithium, or we could just invade another country, I suppose. I've noticed Venezuela in the news a lot lately. It's like, gee, I wonder what we're planning there. Yeah, what does Venezuela have a lot of? You know what they have a lot of. Unobtainium. Oh, crap. Wait. Oh, no, that's right. This is the lefty. Okay. This oil is superconducting at room temperature. No, yeah, the Amiga wasn't as popular over here. Kind of the sad thing is, like, because it was cheaper, the Atari ST actually sold way more units, although it's inferior in every way. It doesn't even have a blitter. Just a big, dumb, slow frame buffer. $39 trillion. If you actually found 39 trillion in gold, it wouldn't be worth 39 trillion anymore. That's the twist ending. Oh, if it makes you feel any better, White Line, I do have a ZX Spectrum. I love the ZX Spectrum. I'm like the ultimate Yankee fan of the ZX Spectrum. It's such an amazing, cheap piece of shit. Yeah, actually, you know, probably most of the Amigas in America were used for like video production. Good old video toaster. And Kiki Stockhammer. Someone should make a biopic of Kiki Stockhammer. It could be called Kiki Wipe. They did Titanic on Amigas? Are you sure about that? I don't know if I believe that. I think that would have been Silicon Graphics at that time. I mean, they did like shows like Babylon 5 on Amigas. They can change my mind, but they can't change me. Usually at the Vintage Computer Fest, someone has an Amiga set up as like a vintage, like cable, like weather station, like running like displays and stuff. Someone usually always has a video toaster display at that show. Let's see here. Yep, Bud's gone again. Really, Commodore fan? I find that a little hard to believe. Sorry, I'm a little skeptical of that. Used for editing? Oh, okay. Oh, darn it, that's the wrong trigger. Oh, probably because I grabbed it from the right bin. There's your problem. Oh. Gee, I hope I have enough of these parts. Okay, I can believe they used Amigas at some point in the production. I just don't think they wouldn't have done any effects on it. That'd have all been Silicon Graphics in '97. That's like a Rick and Morty explanation. 97. I'm a pickle. I'm Pickle Rick. Big reveal. Ugh. These parts are backwards. Everything's in German. Oh, okay. All right. Man, even by then the Amiga would have been a little long in the tooth. I want you to paint me like one of your Commodore Amigas in deluxe paint. It was the most erotic moment of my life. It was the computer of dreams. But this computer can't get a guru meditation error. It's made of silicon, I assure you it can. And it will. It is a mathematical certainty. Oh, Lightwave 3D, yeah. I mean, like, a lot of Titanic was compositing. Like, the ship was a model, and they made, like, the humans with CGI. I do kind of hope that James Cameron has his buddy Robert Rodriguez make more Avatar movies, because I wish James Cameron would do something different. Because, I don't know, there's just... Because I remember when he made Titanic, everyone's like, what the hell? He's making a Titanic movie? It was, like, really weird. And obviously it worked out, but... I kind of miss that, like, James Cameron. James Cameron does what James Cameron does because James Cameron is James Cameron. Because even with like all the Amigas and everything, like Titanic was like a very physical movie. It's like they don't... And now Avatar is just like a bunch of mocap stuff. It's not as impressive. It's not as impressive as building like, you know, like replicas of the ship and like building half the ship at like 90% scale next to the ocean, like crazy stuff like that. I want you to paint me like one of your avatars. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just more interesting. Even like The Abyss, you know, like this awful movie to make, but you know, it's like, but they had to do it. You know, they couldn't just like use a computer. They actually had to like go under the water and stuff and torture the actors. Yeah. So what happened next? You mean, did we do it? A woman's heart is a vast ocean of secrets. And as I always like to point out, Titanic and Road Warrior had the same final line. He exists now only in my memory. That was the last time I saw the Road Warrior. He exists now only in my memory. Well, yeah, anomalous, that's correct. Like Jurassic Park's like, oh, the CGI of Jurassic Park was amazing. That's because most of it was practical effects. They only used CGI when they absolutely had to. Like even like in the kitchen scene, even some of those raptors were like guys in suits. I didn't even know that. Like when the raptor stands up on its haunches and goes, "Rrr, rrr, rrr," that's actually a guy in a suit. And they did the legs in such a way that you couldn't tell. Oh, you haven't seen Titanic? It's a really good movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. I wonder if it still holds up. Well, the best is the T-Rex attack because it's like half and half physical and CGI, and they like switch back and forth in the same shot in a bunch of spots, which is always really cool. Just like in Spider-Man 2. Like even like in what was that 2004? Even in 2004, like having Doc Ock have like puppeteered tentacles. Even in 2004, that was like kind of pointlessly complicated, but they did it. They didn't have to, but they did. Oh, it was working, wasn't it? Yes. I'm now a villain. What? I love that shot in Spider-Man 2 where after Doc Ock comes out of the bank. I know one of my favorite shots in like all of movies is when he comes out of the bank and then the camera whips around like over his shoulder and he's like looking at the cops. I don't know why, I just freaking love the composition. That's right before he grabs Aunt May. He's like, "Don't follow me." And they're like, "Oh, we better stop shooting all of a sudden." After Doc Ock robs the bank of its Chuck E. Cheese tokens. And then what did he do? He's like, he called up like industrial supply. "Yes, I'd like to order $3 million worth of resonators. How do I pay? I guess I'm going to give you these coins somehow." I'm like, oh, this isn't suspicious at all. It's going to pay you with a bag of coins. Bud, why don't you want to go in your bud box? It's what cats crave. That's tighter than a nun's nasty. Unbelievable. PowerPoint. No, I actually fed him before I started this, so yes. I switched around his food schedule, so now he's getting the full can of food in the morning and the half can at night. Because if that feeder works, I might actually just use it every day. Program it to give him his full can of food like an hour before I wake up. That way he won't like try to mew me awake, which he does now. It's an alarm clock. Mew, 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 mew. Well, yeah, Cree. And aren't you going to go to the Poltergeist house, Airbnb? It's obviously haunted. Cree, you do realize that that house would have only been used for exterior shots. Everything inside would have been a soundstage, right? Hey, you know what, White Line? I actually rewatched Goonies like a couple months ago, and yeah, it doesn't really hold up. It's not that good. Actually, well, I never saw that as I think I saw that as a maybe late into my teens. I didn't see it when it came out in theaters because actually nobody saw it when it came out in theaters. It was a flop. So I don't really have any nostalgia for it. Oh, there were some scenes in the house? Oh, okay. Cree, did you ever hear the conspiracy theory that Steven Spielberg ghost directed that movie? It wasn't actually directed by Tobe Hooper. That's the conspiracy theory. That's apparently a Tombstone. Same thing. Like the theory is that it was actually directed by Kurt Russell, but for some reason he couldn't direct it, so he hired this like yes man to direct it, and then. But Kurt Russell actually called all the shots. I think that was the same guy who directed Rambo 2, if I'm not mistaken. Rambo. Hey, you know who wrote Rambo 2? That's right, James Cameron. Do we get to win this time? Yeah, but you know what movie I actually watched another movie I didn't see when I was a kid or I was very much an adult was Monster Squad, and I actually thought that was way better than Goonies. I thought it held up way better as a film. Because Goonies is just like a really annoying movie. Like the entire time the kids are just like talking over each other and like yelling and screaming, and the movie is very cacophonous. The Goonies NES game? Oh, yeah. They had versions for like the 8-bit computers as well. It was different though. For like the Commodore and the Atari. Yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's just not that good. Hey, Cree, remember when we made Lydia watch Romancing the Stone? Now that movie holds up. Yeah. Wolfman's got nards? Well, I guess why wouldn't Wolfman have nards? You are John Wilder? The John Wilder? I read your books. I read all your books. Write us out of this one, John Wilder. And when he comes out of the door, he starts nonchalantly waving his gun at her. You are John Wilder, the romance novelist? Yes, I am. That's such a great movie. I'm honest. I'm stealing this stone. I'm not trying to romance it out from under her. I don't think Danny DeVito would be able to romance a stone out from anyone. Oh, yeah, Mummy is great. Mummy is the last best Indiana Jones movie ever made. Also the last Indiana Jones movie ever made. They made another Conjuring movie. Okay. Yeah, I miss when they had like soundtracks to movies. I was watching this video and someone was like making fun of somebody because they're like I had the Batman Forever soundtrack back in the 90s, and it's like everybody had that soundtrack. That soundtrack was a huge hit. You are John Wilder, the novelist? I'd do anything for my husband, Mr. Valiant. Anything. Probably looking for a good place to stick a knife. Wait, which Batman? Batman Forever or the original Batman with all the Prince songs? Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Kinda like this one, Bob. Leave it. Oh, yeah, Bat Dance. Yeah, I remember hearing that on the radio. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why'd Prince have to die? Why Prince? Why not any of the Kardashians? All right, let's see. Try not to make a mistake like last time I did this part. Kissed by a rose on the black. Bats aren't rodents, Miss Meridian. Wow, you are interesting. It's very interesting. Oh yeah, he's dead now too. It's this really interesting documentary. Can't remember exactly what it was called, but it's about the making of the island of Dr. Moreau and how awful it was. And apparently, back in those days, like Val Kilmer was just an insufferable asshole. I think it's called like a filmmaker's apocalypse or something like that. Or no, wait, no, that. Yeah. Like the director got fired off of the movie, but then he stayed where they were filming it. Then he got rehired as an extra. So he appears later in the movie, like dressed up as like one of the weird creatures. Crazy stuff. That movie was not very good. It wasn't Val Kilmer also in that movie, The Lion in the Dark or whatever that was with Michael Douglas? Michael Douglas. It's like they were like they're trying to shoot a lion or something. The Ghost in the Darkness. Yeah, that was was that Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas? How Michael Douglas just makes Ant-Man sequels. Greed is good. Oh, now Bud's on the back of my chair. Bud, were you kissed by a rose? I think there were some U2 songs on that album too, the Batman Forever album. You saw the lions? You mean the ones that got shot? Oh, did they like stuff it or something? Bud, are you gonna fight Michael Douglas? The Bud in the darkness. I laid out a trap of greenies. This'll catch Bud. Let it da 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 da. Let it da 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 da. Yeah, weren't those lions like killing a bunch of railroad workers or something? So it's like, wow, capitalism only cares about Africans. If it's affecting our railroad, we better send Michael Keaton or Douglas. Send somebody named Michael. It doesn't matter who. Send me. No, Michael Jackson, I don't think you're qualified. But I'm bad. Oh, these lions are just afraid. The lions, they'll kill anybody. It don't matter if they're black or white. They all see us as the same color. Food. I could capture one of those lions and put it in Neverland and make it nice. Corey Feldman can pet it. He was in Goonies, you know. It's all PLA. Except for the D-pad buttons and the four-face buttons. These are TPU. Because if you print them on a PLA and people push it enough, like, the inner parts can crack and then the pieces can fall out. So if you print them on a TPU, that won't happen. Let's see. X marks the spot. A is next. Been kissed by a rose on the something. Bud, get me a beer. Bud's been kissed by a rose on the blood. VHS? Oh, was that like a promotion back in the day? I wish there was a Burger King closer to me. I like how the Whoppers taste, although it's kind of expensive. It's like all the fast food's expensive, but there's like varying levels of expensive. Burger King is like really expensive. Like more so than Wendy's. Although Wendy's is usually pretty good. At least the one near me is usually pretty good. Alright. Alright, so this guy, we need right bumper. So we need the right two pieces. Been kissed from... God damn it. God, it feels like I barely left since last night. Groundhog Day. Live, die, repeat. I've got a great movie idea. We'll make Groundhog Day meets Starship Troopers. Wow, that sounds great. And it'll star that chick from The Devil Wears Prada. Wow. We can't not make it. We'll call it The Devil Wears Power Armor. Oh, yeah, this is great. Also, Tom Cruise is in it. You know what's really funny to watch like late night interviews of is anything with like where John Krasinski and Emily Blunt talk about each other. It's very cute. Because apparently in real life, John Krasinski was obsessed with The Devil Wears Prada. And I guess he like was crushing on Emily Blunt. It's kind of funny. And then when they went on their first date, he didn't think he'd have a chance with her, so he was like, screw it, and he took her to a gun range, apparently. Which I'm sure was quite weird for a British person. But the rest was history. Can you... How lame is it that they had John Krasinski as Reed Richards in Doctor Strange 2? So in some alternate Rick and Morty dimension, we got a Fantastic Four with Reed Richards and Emily Blunt as Sue Storm. That would have been amazing. I mean, it's right there. But nope. What have I been hyped for? Nothing really. I don't know. I just maybe I'm just getting old, but I just don't really give a crap about much video games or movies or anything anymore. I mean, I did start playing the new Indiana Jones DLC. It's all right. It seems a little padded, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I guess when you exit the prime demographic, you just don't give a shit. Yeah, I used to like go to a lot of movies, and now I like maybe go to one a year. I don't think I went to any movies this year. I think the last movie I saw was the re-release of Interstellar last fall. Well, yeah, I'm not saying British people would be against guns. It probably just... the culture is probably weird for them. But... yeah, it's pretty expensive to see movies now. And they wonder why fewer people go. Because it used to be like... it used to be movies were like the cheapest form of entertainment. Like even during like the Great Depression, movie theaters did well because it was like cheap and had air conditioning. TMNT? Oh, they like re-released it? I assume you mean the original and best? That movie still holds up really well. Because it was shot for real. I think it's funny, like apparently Jim Henson was upset about how violent that movie was. But if you watch like Jim Henson's original commercial work with Watkins, it's just non-stop violence. Want to try some Wilkins coffee? No! And then he just shoots him. People tend to disappear if they don't eat Watkins. It's basically like a prototype Kermit the Frog, like just murdering this other character over and over and over again because he won't drink the coffee. It's like from the 50s. Oh, so it was like ad tier HBO Max. That's the only subscription I have at the moment. I'll probably ditch it once I finally watch Superman, which I'm curious to see because I like Superman, and that movie was like really divisive. So I'm really curious to see it, but I don't. I have the $16 plan or whatever, so there aren't any ads. I've been kissed by a bud on the gray. Jesus. How could Pedro Pascal can't make that many movies at once? That's impossible. Did they clone him? Oh. See, one of the things the number one thing I hate about going to movie theaters is like all the stupid ads and trailers you have to watch. I mean, I guess you could just show up late, but it's ridiculous. It's like, I thought isn't this supposed to be the premium experience? Why does a premium experience give you a worse experience than a streaming service, where worst case they might show you a 30-second ad when you boot it up? I mean, the end goal is to put ads back in all of it, because the end goal is to return to cable. Assault. Oh, you mean the John Carpenter one? I have not. Juicy. Juicy Lucy. Yeah, they are kind of pushing people back toward piracy. You know, like Gabe Newell said, it's like it's a convenience issue. If you can make legitimate sales easier than piracy, then you will succeed. And that was true for a while with streaming. I mean, I think like with football now, like the football games are scattered across so many services, like Monday Night Football, Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football. It's like, oh Jesus. It's like you're really pushing your luck. Yeah, Commodore fan, I'm curious to see what Disney does with Hulu. Because Hulu is actually like the number... Well, if you count YouTube, Hulu is the number 3 service. It's actually way, way bigger than Disney Plus. So, Disney's probably going to eventually fold in Hulu. So it'll be like, oh, you can watch lovely Disney Plus shows like Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Family Guy. But I think that is their Avengers Endgame. What is it, bud? Are you sad because you don't have a cat brother or a dog brother? Yeah, people forget, like, Disney is a big reason why cable got expensive, like, because they, like, would use ESPN to, like, strong arm other stuff, like, oh, you want ESPN? Well, you're also going to have to take 3 Disney channels and all this other crap you don't want. Oh yeah, The Thing is definitely my favorite Carpenter film. I actually am not a fan of Big Trouble. Sorry. Oh, but he directed They Live, though, right? That was Carpenter. That movie's aged incredibly well. incredibly well. My halcyon age, where like movie directors were anti-establishment. What? I already fed you. Dish Network merging with DirecTV? Is that so they can like share a coffin? What? But I have to build these controllers to buy greenies with. Otherwise you'll be starving. You'll have to eat rats and bats. Mmm, juicy rats. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Black as night, black as coal. No, he does not have an exercise wheel. He probably does need something like that. Well, here's a Roomba for him to fight. Bud, do you like fighting the Roomba? Oh, I think it's time for a beer break. Bud, you want to follow me upstairs for no reason? Blah, 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 blah. There's still a Dish Network dish on my roof. I'll probably just have them pull it off when I replace the roof. It's not hurting anybody. Or maybe it is. The Dish Network goes out at night and kills prostitutes. Time to dish up some justice. Surely you wouldn't bring Timothy instead? Man, Bud hasn't hung out with another cat in a very long time. Since he hung out with Max's cat, but that was like almost 5 years ago. And that was back when Bud was a baby. Now he is the master. When I left you, I hated sand. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, which is different from a democracy. I hate sand and democracies. Anakin, we need to have a very serious talk about why I can't date you. Let me change into a leather BSDM outfit. Okay. Alright, as I was saying, I'm a senator. ARM-based Steam OS mini PC? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it makes more sense. I mean, for power. I mean, if they can make Proton work, like running x86 code on ARM. I mean, again, Mac does that. I mean, I think eventually, like, Windows will be like ARM, Linux. Eventually, it's like I think eventually everything will go that way. So yeah, I can believe it. Yeah, in the US, YouTube is actually the #1 streaming service. It's actually bigger than Netflix. Which I think is why YouTube is doing all this like stuff, because they want to get rid of the little guys. And then that way all the Hollywood people can like jump on the life raft. James Earl Jones played Anakin. I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere. They digitally de-age Tommy Lee Jones. Hey, remember the first Conan the Barbarian movie where James Earl Jones was a cult leader, and then James Earl Jones, Jim Jones? You might not have noticed, but your brain did. Oh my God. Do they still make you have a TV license in the UK? That's so dumb. TV license, knife license. Alright, let's see how she works so far. A cult leader of snakes. What is best in life? To crush your enemies and hear the lamentations of the women. Hey, isn't John Milius still alive? Maybe they should like have him do some more stuff in Hollywood to like make it more manly again. Maybe overly manly. Conan reboot played by Conan O'Brien. Yeah, Aaron, I didn't like Phantom Menace when I first saw it either. I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. Come on, controller, like, do whatever. Pretty sure John Milius is still alive. Yeah, it's kind of weird. John Milius like came up in the same like cinematic circles as like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, but I guess he just wasn't as successful. Controller, do you run like Enumerate or something one of these days? Yeah, there was some like Red Sonja new movie, but I don't think it was barely released. What the hell? Let me try plugging it into a different USB port. I'll plug it into a different port, man. Oh, of course, the build goes fast, and now there's like this weird connection issue. Of course. Why wouldn't that happen? This is weird. Guess I can try the Xbox dongle. This is strange. It's not home on the range. You should just set a spell. You don't look so well. Yes, I am wearing slippers. But I don't have the possum lining in them because I had to hide that because it made Bud go crazy. It's still doing it. Go feet. But never Frankenstein. This is weird. I'm going to get a different opinion from another. Hold on. I'll be back. Bud, are you a megaloaf? Yeah, it worked on that computer, but it was still a little weird. And the secondary trigger didn't work, so maybe there's some sort of like slight short with the 3-volt line on that one, causing some sort of power drop. That's possible. Good thing I covered it with super glue. Did I get the... Wait. Oh. Pfft. Did I... Oh, I wired it backwards. Well, that definitely could be a problem. Oops. I was a fool. You fool. That was born in the pits that made these stones. Bud, where are you? All your friends are here, waiting for you. Buddy, buddy, Bud, where are you? Rover rear. Well, no, now it's wired up correctly. I had it wired wrong on this end. I'm pretty sure that was probably the problem. I'm pretty sure it was probably the problem. Very sure. Very cool. Hey, Commodore fan, have you ever seen that viral video? It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger is like at like some high school talking to the kids, and he's in the gym, and some kid comes up and tries to drop kick Arnold, and it barely affects Arnold. This is like modern day old Arnold too. It's like, you know, if you go kick a tree trunk, nothing's gonna happen. Alright, let's try this again. Of course there had to be some fly in the ointment because the rest of it went so quickly. Of course, it's always what happens. I mean, it affects Arnold, but not very much. So it's more like he's like annoyed that it happened. And then he like crushed him and heard the lamentations of the women. Don't do that. And that time it showed right up. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Up, down, left, right, A, B, B, A. Okay, we can proceed. Sarah Connor. Yes. The Terminator's an infiltration unit. The Terminator was just Halloween with robots, you know. La da da la 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 la. The other thing that bugs me is like in movies and shows, like if someone gets like a robotic arm or a robotic leg or something, it makes all of them like super powerful, even though that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's like in Terminator 2 when that guy puts his cigar out on Arnold's chest. It's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Because like even if Arnold wasn't a robot in that scene, why the hell would you do that? Well, I guess because there was like 8 guys all there. I guess they probably could have taken a normal Arnold style person, but he was a robot. Oh, I'm sorry. Not a robot. Cyborg. Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. But are you a robot? Are you a cat? Why don't you go into the bud box? If you will not go into the bud box, then I will put you in the bud box. No, don't put me in there. No, human. You are mean. Ah, maybe like a bubble wrap. Now go to sleep. My favorite 70s or 80s show? Oh god. Well, I liked Airwolf, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard, A-Team. I watched all of that stuff. Gosh, I don't know what my favorite would be. None of that stuff really holds up very well. Well, there's also still a ton of comedies back then, like Family Ties and The Cosby Show and Different Strokes and The Jeffersons. I mean, there was like so much stuff back then. Oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh, and don't forget Story Lords on PBS. A classic. That's a deep cut. It was actually made in Wisconsin. Does anyone remember Story Lords from PBS? It was like one of those edutainment shows. It was very low budget. It made Carmen Sandiego look like Titanic. Now you want to talk about a song that slaps? Carmen Sandiego. How do we get kids to care about geography? What if we got an a cappella group? Brilliant! Story Lords visited your grade school, really? Oh, so you... Wait, so you got to meet Thor Zool? Wait, I've seen videos of that. Was that like one of your schools? Wait, so when Thor Zool showed up, did they play his theme song? Oh my god, wow, that's so cool! Yeah, I've seen videos online of like Thor Zool visiting schools. What about his henchman Milk Breath? Were they there? Milk Breath, get me out of here! His royal badness, Thor Zool! Oh, remember when I was telling you guys about like all the movie ideas that Max and I came up with, like Roadhouse Generations? Another one that we came up with was we were coming up with this idea for a... I've talked about this before. We were coming up with an idea for a... like making a replica of a 90s edutainment PBS show. And ours was going to be called Math Lords. But it would basically be Story Lords with math. But we were going to like make it like dark and stuff. Like the mom would be like, your dad lost his job. We only have $1,200 left in the bank. If our mortgage is $500 a month, how many months until we're homeless? That's right, 2 months. But wait a minute, 1,200 divided by 500 is more than 2. That's what remainders are. What's a remainder? The remainder is how much money I'll have left to spend on beer and cigarettes after we get evicted. That was another one. God, I would still love to do that. If anyone wants to produce a show, let me know. I think. Well, nobody's ever done that, right? Like nobody's ever made like, because we've seen like 80s simulations and like 50s simulations, but nobody has ever made like, I wouldn't call it a spoof, but like a replica of like a 90s edutainment show. I think that would be cool. Because we had several scenes that we workshopped. Like there was going to be one that involved the mob and the racetrack. And so after the dad loses his job, he takes his son to the racetrack so he could use the power of math to bet on the horses. But then he wins too much, So then the mob boss pulls him back into his office, and he's like, "All right, kid, how'd you learn how to bet on the ponies?" "I used math, sir." "Math, huh? Never heard of it." And then one of the henchmen pulls out a gun. "You want me to waste him right now, boss?" "No, hold on a minute." And then the mobster would be like, "So you used the power of math to cheat at my racetrack, did ya?" And then the father would be like, "I swear to God, I've never seen this kid before." "I think I could use you, kid." And then, "That's my boy." So I guess the dad was like kind of like a Rick and Morty Jerry type. Was that a thing? Yeah, I think it was already a thing at that time. Because that's every character that voice actor plays. It was weird seeing that guy in the Fallout show, like the actual actor. All right. Oh, post-apocalyptic. Oh, that sounds cool. Tomes and talismans. Wow. Yeah. Library adventure. It's like, how do we make libraries cool? Fuck if I know. What if we make it wizards and warriors? I think we should make J.J. Abrams get magically stuck in an episode of Story Lords. And Thor's will be like, "Mystery box? What the hell is this shit?" And then he would turn him into a statue. Because, you know, that was Thor's rules. He wanted to turn everyone into statues for some reason. Alright, so I shouldn't have to adjust the pots on this one. His Royal Badness, Thor'Zul! Wow, you remember Story Lords really well, Texas, sir. Wait, so do I! So it was about post-apocalyptic librarians? So let me guess, they were like trying to keep knowledge or something? Or something? Yeah, I think this gives you a little adjustment. See these little slits? It's actually for fingernails. So you can do this. Ha ha! I don't know, is it? I know, I never read that book. I cannot say. But yeah, I think it would be awesome, like, to make like a. So you'd have to get like vintage cars and vintage computers and vintage everything. Vintage mom jeans. I guess if you wanted to be really, really, really pedantic, you'd shoot it on like Betamax, so it would like look accurate. I assume that could still be done. Yeah, with Math Lords, we were trying to figure out if there would be like a magical math kingdom he could go to. Because we were thinking like he would go to the magical math kingdom and there'd be some sort of dilemma in the kingdom. And then it would parallel a dilemma in real life, which would just be ripping off Wishbone, of course, at that point. Yeah, then I think Max wanted him to have like this puppet friend named Mr. Fancy Dancy. Which... I don't know. I don't know about that part. No, you gotta shoot it in actual Betamax. Algebria? Yeah, I think we had like a Princess Decimelia or something. Like it was something with decimals. And like, what was it? Well, there was actually going to be a library. Like, he goes into the library for some reason. But then there's like this librarian who's like this Mad Max kind of survivor with a shotgun. He's like, what are you doing in here? And he's like, I'm coming to learn, sir. Like, nobody comes in the library anymore. But that wouldn't really work. Because it takes place in the real world in 1995. Oh man, that would be perfect. Like, this would have been the year to make it, because then it could be like, it could take place in like 1995. Because it's just far enough back where there were computers, but like the internet hadn't really changed everything quite yet. That would be like the perfect time. And that was like when things like Wishbone were on TV. But are you camouflaged as DigiKey rappers? But yeah, you're right. Fraction Munchers, that could be a show too. You know, now that they're going to adapt every video game ever made into movies, they'll like make Fraction Munchers when they run out of stuff. It'll be, of course, directed by Michael Bay. Ah, darn it. What's the story, Wishbone? What's that you're thinking of? Such imagination from such a little pup. What's the story, Wishbone? DNS cartoon? I don't know what that is. Oregon Trail with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yes! And like, there'd be all these gratuitous shots of Sacagawea's feet. Yes, I know, different stories. I don't care. And Christoph Waltz would have to be in it. Why, I can help you get to Oregon, but you will have to follow my directions. Oh wait, are you referencing The Revenant? Is that why it would have Leonardo DiCaprio? Now, if they made Oregon Trail, it would have Jack Black in it because it's a video game movie, so it has to have Jack Black in it, and of course Zendaya. Collian wagon, yeah. This D-pad isn't quite right. And then, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio would shoot a bear. Get a game based on a movie that was based on the game? Oh, that already exists! Street Fighter, the movie, the game. It was a Street Fighter game made with digitized characters a la Mortal Kombat, and it actually was released around the same time as the original Street Fighter movie with Dolph Lundgren. Not Dolph Lundgren. Whoever the guy is. And then the guy who's dead. Raul Julia. Van Damme, that's it, yes. The day that movie came to your theater was the most important day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday. That's a really good bad movie if you've never seen it. Oh, jeez. The enemy of perfect is good. Wait, I got that backwards. You're making another Street Fighter movie? I don't even want to think about it. Why? He'll never top Raul Julia. It was a Tuesday. Oh, maybe they'll remake some video game movies that will like be good this time. I mean, like Mario Brothers. I mean, Lord knows they've made plenty of bad video game movies over the years. Live action Chung-Li thighs. They'd have to be CGI. Oh yeah, that's right. There's some, Mortal Kombat Johnny Cage movie. They are going to remake all those movies, won't they? Wait, didn't they already make a Mortal Kombat movie like 3 or 4 years ago? I have not done that all Lucky 7. If anything, sometimes, depending on what it is, I'll just put a bunch of super glue on the seams. Oh, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Yeah. They referenced that in the Super Mario Brothers movie Super Bowl ad. Yeah, it's probably good enough. Good enough for horseshoes and government work. Yeah, 2 hours isn't bad, although it could have been faster. Oh well. Isn't that the one where they're like, who's gonna eat all the spaghetti? No, I'm a Chris Pratt. For some reason. Yeah, it's gotta be Chris Pratt and what's his face? Jack Black, yes. You know what would be a fun one of these to do some night is, let me go grab it. Bud. Are you sleepy, bud? This. Oh. These are worth gold. Can't remember what was wrong with it. What the heck was I doing with this? What is this? Is that the video chip or the video converter chip? Seems like I had one of these that had like a bad regulator. This one appears to have the regulator intact. Oh yeah, I did remove that. That's the video converter chip. Why did I remove it though? Those weird square traces. Look at these. God, no wonder Nintendo won. Janky crap! It's really got two different RAM chips here. I think they're both the same. Wait, no, one of these would be a ROM. Because this had 16K video RAM, 8K work RAM, so... Well, this is a video chip, this is a glue chip, this is the CPU. So, where's the ROM? Unless they're using two chips. Oh yeah, because I think it would have two RAM chips. because they actually had 16-bit RAM access. It accessed it accessed the 16K in, I want to say it was 16 bits at a time. But yeah, Master Systems are really valuable now. Yeah, why did I remove that chip? I have no idea. What was I doing? Well, I did get an AV cable, so I can output AV easily from this. The version, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think all of these had a ROM at like an 8K ROM at the beginning of memory that had like the snail maze and some other functions. Unless they built the ROM into the glue logic chip. Well, yeah, because like this, I believe these. Well, these are the same code, but they have different speeds. So I want to say, if I had to guess, this is probably the 8K work ROM, and this is probably the two 8K video video RAMs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that much about the system, and I don't know why I removed the video chip. Maybe it was bad. I don't know. I got these. I can't remember if I got these from like Game Exchange or something. I got them super cheap, like $20 each. So I should I gave one to a buddy of mine. I should try to get this one working as well. I think the other one had like a bad power regulator, or had no power regulator or no heat sink. That's what this is over here. I don't know. I could build. Yeah, you have your FM synthesis over here. Of course, you got your Z80 right there. The beating heart of the system. But yeah, that's... At some point, I need to fix this. It's too valuable not to. Ugh. Well, looks like I got about half a beer here. You put that Sega into a Nintendo? Oh wait, there's another chip hidden under there. That's probably the ROM. Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, that's a project for another day. Not a very appealing looking system. Well, yeah, of course Thor Zool could do it. He would use the power of story. I could probably, yeah, I'm sure I could find this chip off eBay. I have another ZX project I need to finish. Oh. I think I bought this at Vintage Computer Festival a couple years ago. I just bought the circuit board. It's the Harlequin ZX Spectrum. It does the ULA all with discrete logic. So you can basically build this all with like off-the-shelf parts. Because, you know, the Z80, the ROM, and the RAM are off-the-shelf. Yeah, and then the buffers. But this is about as far as I got with it. And then I think it has it's like, I want to say it has RGB output. Yeah, because you could get RGB from this, yes. Oh yeah, because if you want composite, you have to like get some sort of encoder chip. But it looks like this is as far as I got with it. And there's even a keyboard. So, cherry keys. Oh, actually, yeah. Gosh, looks like I got this pretty far. I mean, I don't need it because I have a ZX Spectrum. I have a real Spectrum, but I just thought this was cool because this reminds me of Back to the Future, where they make the time circuits using vacuum tubes on the hood. So, since the ULA, which is the video chip on the Spectrum, it's unobtainium, so they reproduce it with all of these gates. That happened like if you look at like the ZX80. The ZX80 had a bunch of discrete chips to run the video, and then the ZX81 combined those into a single chip, even though it was more primitive than the ZX Spectrum. It was still, you know, if you can turn all of these, it's cheaper to make like a custom ULA chip than to put all these into every machine. That's why they would do that. Yeah, it's on my list. You know, the documentation on this Harlequin is kind of sketchy, so you'd like cross-reference a bunch of things just to figure out where everything goes. But I got it pretty far. Yeah, I know I should complete it. I need to be the completionist. Well, I need to be a completionist, not the completionist. Russian Pentagon systems. Yeah, the Russians cloned. They had tons of ZX Spectrum clones in Russia. It's pretty crazy stuff. Oh, I guess I have this guy. Oh yeah, this was the test unit from a while back. Yeah, I guess I could put this into a system. This one was a little off, so I was use like $5 each. Oh yeah, I need to order some more because now well, I've got this one, but that's it. I might actually do a stream Thursday night, depending on how much energy I have left. Because I still got 2 more of these on order. So, wish people, well, whatever. Wish they would have, because I only built like 2 all summer, I want to say. So, could have spread them out. Monopoly. Monopoly Ness. Bloop, bloop, bloop. What Harlequin was it? Super Faux Harlequin Rev G. It's still missing some parts. I think you can put like an option ROM in it. I can't remember. So what's the ROM? The ROM is 8K on a Spectrum. So, if I had the RGB, I wouldn't need this chip. So I guess I don't know. But so it looks like I just need a bunch of resistors, and then I assume this is the power regulator, a coil here. Yeah. But most of it's there. What's this guy? What is that? Oh, it's probably an op amp. It's Texas Instruments. Yeah, I think last year's when they stopped taking new orders for the Z80. Let me see how many I have left. Give me like Mad Max with Z80s. As if there aren't like 100 million of them in the world. Yeah, looks like I've got some, like, the last ones that I bought. So, how many of those are there? Oh, I've got some newer ones. Unbelievable. Yeah, of course I bought, I was stocking up on some at the end. Okay, that's 2015. A couple more there. 2023. Here's two 2023s. Two 2019s. It's an old one, 1984. 2019. And an old Sharp. Oh, that can't. There's no. Yeah, that's gotta be the wrong. That can't be a date code. It looks like it got bird shit on it or something. So yeah, I have 5 brand new Z80s. So looks like I have a total of 10 loose. I probably have other ones someplace else. Mark, the last time I checked on DigiKey, you couldn't actually get them. So I probably bought these the 2023s like a year or two ago, but I checked a few months ago just out of boredom, and I want to say it's actually out of stock. And I don't think you can get the EZ80 anymore either. It should still technically be in production, but at least DigiKey didn't. I think a couple places didn't have them. No, I'm not from England or Australia. I've heard so many people call it the Z80 that I guess I call it the Z80 now. So I have been culturally appropriated. Now I'm going to eat beans on toast. Wait, no, I'll never eat beans on toast. That's disgusting. Ugh. Starch on starch. Yeah, Commodore 64 fan. They still make the, what was the one that 8-bit guy used? The 65C16 by like Western Digital or whatever. I think that's still being made. That's the Super Nintendo chip, basically. Actually, I did eat some Vegemite when I was in New Zealand, and it was incredibly salty. Yeah, Spectrum was getting. There's like a Street Fighter 2 port on Spectrum, which is crazy. Like, they were making games for that thing. Like everything was ported to the Spectrum. Like, think of an arcade game and then type in that Spectrum. There was a port of it. It's insane how many ports that got. All right, well, I think I'm going to bounce for the night, but thanks for stopping by. Streaming helps my sanity with working at night because I don't really want to do it usually. Yeah, but might do this on Thursday, depending on how much gumption I have. Not going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow I'll probably do some Call of Duty, but yeah, and then VCF Midwest is this weekend. I don't have a table, so I'm not actually sure. Because I was looking at my booking, I'm like, oh yeah, I just on autopilot booked Friday and Saturday, but I don't have a table, so I don't know. There's really no need for me to go Friday. I don't know if they'll let me. Well, they probably would let me in, but yeah. I guess I booked back in January as soon as the rooms became available. But then like the Texas show and then MGC burnt me out, so I was like, ugh, I don't want a table at VCF. I'm just gonna go and walk around. But I'll be there. Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, and maybe we'll see you in a couple days, but worst case, we'll see you next Monday. Say goodbye, bud. Bye, bud. Stretchy boy. Are you stretchy? Are you a lion? Alright, we'll catch y'all later.